Good morning, YouTube. We are currently down in Hiwassee, Georgia. Had to bring Katie down here for one of her eye appointments. I thought maybe you guys would appreciate some of the beautiful scenery. This is probably one of the northernmost towns in Georgia, so we do have to cross the North Carolina state line to get here. But we're really only about 25-30 minutes away from the house. We drove through Hayesville, North Carolina, and then down into Hiwassee. It's a neat little town. In fact, from here, I can see the top of BRASSTOWN BALD. Let's see if I can get that in here on the camera or not. Well, that's about as far as I can zoom in, but you can see that tower up there on top of that mountain. That mountain is called BRASSTOWN BALD, and it is the highest elevation point in the entire state of Georgia. Don't quote me on the elevation, but it's around 4,300 and something feet above sea level. All right, guys, so I dropped Katie off at the eye appointment. I'm just over here putting some fuel in the dually because the light came on as we're on our way here. It's a little bit windy out this morning. I'm hoping that's not getting the mic too bad. Well, guys, I don't formally have a plan for this video, but I thought that maybe that scenery might be interesting to some of y'all. You know, the last little bit of remaining fall colors we have in the area, and it's just beautiful driving around this time of year. I think you see a little bit more definition in the mountains, get a little bit more shadowing rather than when all the trees are full of their foliage. So once Katie's done with her appointment, we're going to go back to the house. I've got a lot of business work to do today that's not physical work. We got to pay some bills. I got to pay off the credit cards, get the Department of Revenues paid for, a bunch of clerical type stuff, which obviously I'm not going to take you guys along with me on. So I don't know whether any more video will get filmed much more today. I was planning on trying to get some work done on the Kenworth, but with this appointment being just late enough in the morning that it didn't give me time to get anything done in the morning, it's now, what, 10 o'clock. So by the time we drove over here, we had to leave the house at 9 in order to get here for her 9:45 appointment. By the time we're done here and we go home and we handle that stuff, you know, we got to stop, hit the post office on the way home because we've been gone for so long. I'm sure we've got some stuff that's built up there. You know, my daughter gets most of it for us while we're out, but you know, she still only goes like once a week, and we've been home almost a week now, not quite. However, I'm figuring that by the time we're done with these errands and I get home and we take care of the clerical stuff, and by the way, I'm teaching my daughter to do a lot of that back office stuff, one, to alleviate some of the load on me, and it gives her some experience on how to run the business. That way, eventually, you know, the whole idea is that family will take this over, and at some point I can actually step back when I decide I want to retire, which is no time soon. I mean, I figure I got at least another 20 years in me probably, but you know, I want them to know how to run it, how to do everything, so that when that time comes, it's just second nature, and I can just say, you know what, you guys do this one. Anyway, by the time we're done with all that, I don't think there'll be much daylight left to go out there and work on the Kenworth. And Talon and Alyssa are supposed to be home from Florida sometime today, so I'd really like his help on it anyway. So maybe we'll just push it till tomorrow. Katie's got another doctor's appointment tomorrow. Unfortunately, it's down in the Atlanta area, a little bit further of a drive, but she may just have to take herself. That way I can stay here and get some stuff done, because those middle of the day appointments that are in Atlanta just completely mess up my entire day, because I can't get anything done before we go. And then by the time we get back, especially this time of year, you know, the sun goes down here, you know, 4:30, 5 o'clock. It starts to get dark enough that you can't really function outside, especially up there at the truck. And I don't have a shop I'm working in, it's all out in the yard. So anyway, guys, just hang out and see. Today's video may not comprise, if anything, more than a little bit of driving footage and me running my mouth for a little while. But stay tuned, we'll see what happens. Well guys, yeah, the rest of the day pretty much turned out to be paperwork, phone calls, a bunch of boring stuff. But before we go, we're back up here at Project Kenworth, and we're going to talk about some of the things that we're going to do on it. The last time you saw, I pulled the fifth wheel off of it so that I could access the rear end housings easier, and we wanted to clean up the rust that was in between the fifth wheel and the actual frame itself. Now, it's been a long time since we've worked on the project because of the rally schedule, but now we're home, the rallies are done, and we've got to make some progress on this to get this truck back on the road. Before we left on that last tour to go down to Daytona and Panama and Galveston, I tried to start the truck just because I like to let it start and run every once in a while. But the day I came up here, the batteries were dead, and just didn't have time to put it on charge and let it sit and then start it back up again. So I just left it until we got home this time. So a couple of nights ago, I came up here and I put the battery charger on it to let it charge everything up fully so that today we can start it and let it run. But also, because we're gonna start working on this project and we're gonna try to work on it at a much more aggressive pace than we have in the past. So I also need to order some stuff for it. You know, as I do the rear ends, I definitely need to get some more gear oil to put in there, and I think I have one 5-gallon bucket on hand already, but I'm going to need a second one because we're doing both rear ends. I also need to change the oil, change the fuel filters, air filter, all that stuff I want brand new. Now keep in mind, the overhaul was just done on this truck about 2,500 miles ago, so the filters that are on there probably haven't had that many miles on them. But I'm going to put it on the road, and I don't want to have to worry about it for a while. So obviously we're going to change all of the fluids, all of the filters, and make sure that everything is good to go. And obviously I'm Amsoil Adam. We're going to use Amsoil products on it 100% all the way. All right guys, so I'm going to get the hood popped open on this, and I'm going to write down my filter numbers and so on and so forth so I can make sure to cross-reference everything properly. And then we're going to get it fired up, and then that'll probably be it for today. Alright guys, I'm just going to let her sit here and run for a little bit, warm up, get all the fluids moving and so on and so forth, because this is the first time she has run in probably at least 2 or 2.5 months. So it's not good to let a diesel sit. Anyway, if you guys recall, the reason we're doing the rear ends is because the gear ratios in the front drive and the rear drive were not the same, and that's not a good combination for over-the-road reliability. So I have been in contact with John Story up in Knoxville. Now he was referred to me by Gentry & Sons Trucking. He uses them a lot for some of his used parts, and he has overhauled rear end units there that I can exchange these out for. Then he'll overhaul these and sell them to somebody else. Guys, in addition to doing the rear ends, we've got a couple air leaks we got to fix. We've got to put brand new tires on this truck all the way around because they're all old, they're all dry rotted. Even though they've got great tread, they are not suitable for commercial use. We've got to finish the interior. If you go back to some of the other videos, you'll see where I ripped the carpet out because it was just nasty and disgusting in there. We've done a good thorough cleaning on it, but it's going to need another one before we put it all back together. Hopefully we're going to paint the truck. Got to fix some air leaks. I don't know if I mentioned that already. I may have. There's a lot of little things we've got to do, but you know, the brake system seems really good. But there's going to be a lot of work ahead of us. So if you're interested in any of that stuff, stay tuned because it's all going to come on Project Kenworth. All right guys, once again, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. Please like, share, and subscribe if you did. And it really helps the channel out. Believe it or not, subscriptions, comments, hitting the like button. that really helps promote the channel to get more viewers out there. And of course, we want to share what we're doing with as many people as we possibly can. So thank you again, guys. And until the next time I see you, you keep those engines running.